Patrick, first just want to ask you your thoughts on your future, how much you've thought about that and potentially coming back here or...
Yeah, I mean, I think definitely take some time to think. But overall, I've really enjoyed my time here, and I think it's been a great place for me to continue my career and play. And there's a lot of great things about the organization that have helped me. Not only with my injury, but to find a good role within the team and play. So I think there's definitely some mutual interest in coming back and continuing on here. So we'll see what happens.
Just with your experience on championship teams, what do you see in this team that Wyatt has struggled so much in the month of March, now 2 straight years?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's something that, maybe as an organization, as players, you need to dive into a little bit and see if there's any trends or anything that's going on during that time of year that can help us. So I'm not sure the exact answer, but it's definitely hurt us the past couple of years, especially coming down the stretch and being in the spot we were. We were in a good spot after Four Nations and looked like we were on our way to making the playoffs, and that didn't happen because of our run there in March. So something we'll have to figure out. But overall, it's it's such a fine line of making the playoffs, being a top team in a conference, winning a round, winning a couple of rounds, going on a run. So I'm still optimistic about the group, and I think we're closer than we were at the end of last year, even though maybe we finished with more points. But definitely optimistic about the group and where it can go.
I mean, what's going to go, like personally, what's going to go into that decision, Patrick, as far as where you go, where you decide to play and stuff like that?
I don't know. I mean, last year I felt like I sat up here and I said, like, one thing I was thinking at the time and, talking about, like, security and, maybe multi-year contracts. And then, a couple weeks later, you think completely different. So I think those are conversations that, still need to be had with, myself, my family, the people closest to me, my agent, obviously with the organization too. And figure all that out. But, I thought this year, with my age and the 1-year bonuses and kind of working that contract, I thought it worked well for both sides, So I don't know if that's something we look at again or, we'll see how it all works out. But, those are discussions that, still have to be had.
What do you think? I mean, just the start you had and then how you played after Todd came aboard. I mean, was there anything there? I mean, what was the big diff? What got you going like that in that way?
Yeah, I mean, I think, didn't have the best start to the season. Felt a little bit unlucky at the start of the year, but still just didn't feel good about my game and where I was at. I think, after the coaching change, maybe just the style we started playing a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more connected, all 5 guys up the ice. I think that really helped me. Obviously, the power play was, very productive throughout the year as well. So, I mean, I think someone mentioned it to me the other day, when Todd came in, I think I was over a point a game. And that's kind of, when I look at my season, I still think there's, a lot left out there that I left on the table. I still think there's more that can come from me, and I don't want to say I'm totally disappointed with my year, but I still think there's more to give.
Yeah, Patrick, like along those lines, when you're making your decision, do you think, well, I had this much success under Todd and just the way he played, his system, the aggressive, more offensively? Why not stick with something that's worked and that you're comfortable with, as opposed to maybe starting over with a new coach?
Yeah, absolutely. It's those are all great points. I mean, familiarity, playing within the system, understanding how he coaches, playing with a lot of guys in the room, my role on the team, role on the power play. I mean, I think that's all a lot of positive stuff here that I experienced over the last little while.
And just the way the second half of the season went for you, did that in any way change your outlook as far as, well, maybe I got a little longer to go here, as far as maybe a couple more years left in my career than I originally thought?
Yeah, I mean, I guess, you know, all kind of thoughts go through your head throughout the season. You know, for me, I think, you know, I just played my 1300th game, and I think it would be cool to, you know, play a few more years. You know, I think it'd be cool to get to 1500. Like, that's probably a goal I put in my mind. I mean, I think that's definitely possible. But it's still, like, you know, I think with everything that's gone on, it's probably something that I just look at it year after year and see where I'm at. But that would be a goal for me to, you know, hopefully get to 1500 games and play a few more years. I think that's possible for me. And yeah, I mean, I still love the game. It's my life. It's what I want to do. It's you know, what I think about every day, whether it's, you know, how I take care of my body, how I take care of myself, what I want to do this summer, how I want to train, what I want to look like on the ice next year, game to game preparation. You know, I love all that stuff. So it's still something I very much enjoy, and I'm not thinking about stopping anytime soon. So you know, definitely play next year, and hopefully a few more after that.
Patrick, this might be hard to quantify, but how close do you think this team is to kind of getting over that playoff hump?
No, I think extremely close. Like I said, it's such a fine line. You know, I think we were on a pretty good pace from when Todd came in. I think that'll be, you know, huge going into next season, the confidence in the coaching staff, and you know, where we finish and where we'll start and begin next year, and be ready for that challenge. And also, you know, just improvement player to player, whether it's myself being better, some young guys taking some big steps this year. When you look at like Simon and Marco, Lucas, Mo, all those guys are still getting better. So I think that's a great thing. Getting Copper back, Gus back, I think that helps us. Obviously, every team goes through injuries, but and then, you know, hopefully over the summer you see some things that make our team better too. So I think, you know, add all that up, it's a good outlook.
Kane, or even in the tough times this season, it seemed like this group played for each other, fought, battled. How encouraging and how important is that to maintain that going in next season, even when these kind of bumps in the road happen?
Yeah, I mean, it's a disappointing finish to the season, but, you know, I think even when, you know, we were officially eliminated, you know, like we were still playing for each other. We still wanted to win games. We still wanted to play well, and within the system, you don't see any guys going off on their own or doing their own thing. And obviously that starts with the coaching staff, but also the leaders and the players within the dressing room. And, you know, I think it really is a good core and foundation that's in there that's leading us.
Todd has talked a lot about, since he got here, about spreading the leadership wealth and taking a lot of the burden off of Dylan's shoulders. You're an experienced leader in that avenue as well. A two-pronged question, if I could start with the first. I'm curious, based on your relationship that's grown with Dylan over the last few years, if you've talked to him or mentored him in any aspects about the pressures of being the face of a franchise.
I mean, yeah, I spent a lot of time with Larks, Razor, Mo, Cat, Rass. A lot of time with those guys, and we're always talking about hockey, always talking about whether they have questions about our teams that won in the past, or just different experiences in general. You're always trying to share those and help in any way you can. You know, I think Larks does a great job as a captain. I think he leads by example on the way on the ice and the way he plays, how much he cares about the organization, how much he wants to bring a winner to the city of Detroit and the organization. So, yeah, I think he's done a great job ever since I came here. I've been really impressed with him and his leadership. So, but yeah, I mean, that's what I'm there for, right? To bounce ideas off and help along the way too. I mean, it can't just be him and some of our other leaders in there that are always, whether it's talking in the locker room or leading the charge on the ice, like those guys need help too. So that's definitely something I try to help with.
And on that note, Todd had said like it was the goal to kind of spread that around. Kopp mentioned spreading the A more than just the same 6 guys that had gotten it. How do you think you saw other guys step up this year in those ways?
I mean, I think it's a big part of the team is whether you wear a letter or not, you need to be yourself and bring the best version of yourself to the team. And, some guys might lead by speaking a lot in the room. Some guys might lead by playing a physical brand of hockey on the ice or being vocal on the bench. I mean, everyone has their own way of leadership, and I think that's the great thing about a hockey team. And, I feel like our teams in Chicago, no one was ever put down or embarrassed by trying to help lead a team, right? And you, like I said, you have to be the best version of yourself to do that. So whatever way you can bring leadership to the group, I think that's very important, and got to be confident in yourself to do that and bring it within your own personality.
Pedro, you kind of alluded to it, but that 4-10 March, I mean, anything that really stood out? What do you think happened there?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think you can talk about injuries again. I know last year we were missing Larks. This year we're missing Copper for most of that stretch. I think when you get yourself into a funk like that, I mean, every team kind of goes through different stretches throughout the year where maybe you might lose 4 or 5 in a row or 3 or 4 in a row. I think when that starts to happen, if we can find a way to get ourselves out of it, whether it's March, whatever month it is, get ourselves out of it quicker and not let it snowball, I think that's very important going forward.
Was there a little bit of a sag or disappointment when nothing much happened at the trade deadline or anything?
No, because I think we were kind of rolling with our group. I mean, we had what do we have? 2 7-game winning streaks in different ways within our group. So there was a lot of confidence that we could, especially during those runs, that we could go out and win any game we were playing.
Patrick, just we've looked a lot at March, but does there need to be more emphasis, do you think, or realization of how important it is to win in October and November? Because that might just help you out in March.
Absolutely. I agree with that 100%. You get off to a good start, you give yourself a little bit of room for error if those slip-ups happen. So I think a huge start to the season is very important.
Lastly, just I want to ask you, how much will your son play a factor in your decision? 'Cause you can't take him away from Lucas Raymond, can you? Or
yeah, I know. Imagine I took him away from Archie, right? Like he'd be crushed. But honestly, last year when we were going through the situation, I said, where do you think your dad should play? And he said Detroit, and he liked it. He enjoys it. That's an important part of it, right? So, I think just the ability for him to come down and give the players knucks after warm-ups, the way they take care of the kids here, they're allowed to come in the locker room whenever. The friendships he's made with other kids is important as well. So, all that stuff matters. All that stuff is only positive thoughts about that from the organization. So it's incredible the way the kids are taken care of, and he doesn't know any better, but he loves coming to the games and being part of it and staying as long as he can and enjoying it. So that's definitely an important factor. All right, thanks.